I win, win it, I win it, win it. I win it, win it, win it. I win it again. So I spin it, I spin it, spin it. I spin it, spin it, spin it. I spin it, I spin it again. I spin it, I spin it, spin it. I spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. I spin it, I spin it again. I spin it, I spin it, spin it. I spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. I spin it, I spin it again.
Good afternoon, y'all. What's happening out there? This is KJ Live. I'm Chris Johnson. Today's guest on the show will be someone that I've known for a long time. His title is the Youth Sports Director for the Truth Fund. He is also head coach, head boys basketball coach at Linwood High School. For many years, he's ran Paul Pierce's The Truth EYBL basketball program. Currently has a huge crop of young basketball talent from all over Southern California that he's involved with. KJ Live is very proud to welcome Jason Crowe to the show. Let's get Jay Crowe up in here ASAP. I sent him a request, so he should be joining anytime here. Excited to talk to Jason about everything that he's got going on, as well as some players that he's got in the NCAA tournament. Jason Crowe. Yes, you are in there. What's happening, my brother?
Yes,
How's the
sir.
sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, you might want to turn off your notifications. So, yeah, get it going. We got plenty of time. Jay, now that I got you, man, let's like jump right in. Can you hear me? Let's give Jay a few minutes to handle some of these technical difficulties. As you guys know, IG Live is a little tough. Jay, let's restart it. I'm gonna text you really quickly. Just hold on. Let's see what we got. Well, it looks like you're in on, so I can see.
Is I gotta upgrade my service?
Do you need to upgrade your app?
Right, I gotta do something. I gotta upgrade. I see you now. I think we're in there now.
Well, so Jason, do you got me now? I think that maybe if you guys are on the internet at home, like if too many devices are on the internet, it'll
Yeah, I gotta
eat it
go to
up and it'll be a
this.
little bit difficult.
But they switch me up to
Yeah,
this.
make sure. Yes, sir.
Switch me
Yes,
up to
sir.
this Wi-Fi right here, to my
Yo,
Wi-Fi.
we got a lot of folks. This is KJ Live. I'm Chris Johnson. We got a lot of folks jumping in the
Yeah,
chat. Some of Southern California's best young talent
young dude be
is in the chat as we speak. Shout out to all
exit
of
out.
y'all. Y'all know who you are. Good job, good work during the pandemic and staying working on y'all game. I appreciate it. Jason, are we ready to go? Do you got your internet together, bro? Looks like we're pausing a little bit, so please just bear with us as we figure out the technical difficulties. We're going to be on for the next hour with Truth Fun Youth Sports Director and the head coach of Linwood High School boys basketball, Crowe Zone. Jason Crowe is in the building. Let's see. I think we might have to restart this thing, Jay. I'll give you a call. I'm going to hang up, and we're going to go restart. So Jay has left the chat. Perfect. Join back, bro, and we're going to get you cracking. Let me find you guys. Truth Strong. I'm going to send Truth Strong a request. Noah just jumped in. Happy belated birthday to my nephew, Noah Laurie. I tried to shout you out on Facebook. I should have hit you on the text, but happy belated birthday, Noah. Let me see if we got Coach Crowe up in here. Give us a second, guys. We are trying to make it happen. Let me give him a call.
Good.
What's good?
Yeah, we locked it in this hotspot right here.
Oh, okay, cool. So, okay, cool. So I'll just hold off until I'm gonna send you guys another request, and then we'll get you guys cracking again.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks. Jason Crowe will be in. They were just locking into the hotspot. You guys know how this internet stuff works. If you have a lot of devices at the crib, and he has kids and a wife and family, you know what time it is. People is on the internet, y'all. So it's important that we lock in a standalone intranets. And I'm going to send another request. And I think this time around, we'll get Jay Crowe in the building. Jay Crowe, what's happening, baby?
I'm in here now, baby.
Yes, sir.
Upgrade my services.
He got on the line.
I had to go
You got to get
an upgrade on you, man. I had to upgrade my service.
Man, that was fast. What's been going on with you, man? What you been up to lately?
Lately, man, I've really been locked in with the middle school stuff. It's been a good, like I've had a full season of that. Been to Arizona like every month. You know, I'm tired. You know, but it's been a real good time. This is the first time I've really had the time to really pay attention to my son. You know, he's been in the gym like, look at me, and I'm like, no, I got varsity, I got AAU, I got all that. Shoot, you know what I mean? And I was like, I got a chance to lock in with him, and it's been fun.
Talk about the experience in Arizona. Obviously, Arizona was open while California has been closed during the youth sports season. Talk about how that experience was for the team, some of the COVID protocols and precautions that you guys had to take, and just the overall mental wellness of your team.
Yeah, well, for me, when the pandemic started, when it hit, I shut down immediately.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those guys. I wasn't anxious to get back. I shut my program down. And what we did is we communicated on Zoom. We built a whole network. We started doing building, yoga. We started doing all that kind of stuff. And we really just started trying to watch the trends. Now, when Made Hoops came back.
Chad Babel. Shout out Chad.
Yeah, shout out to Chad. Then I thought that was worthy, you know. So then I did my investigation. I wasn't just going to come back to play basketball. You know, like, no, that wasn't it. My son's young. The kids, they have time. You felt bad for the high school kids. Yeah. But there wasn't anything functional or beneficial. But this Made Hoops is a monster. And with regards to the protocols, the first thing I did was I said, hey, we got to get tested. Yeah. We got to know each other. You know, we want to get ahead of this thing. We want to know each other. We want to communicate well with each other in our network of our group. Yeah. I didn't add any kids to the team. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay with a group that had been working together for 3 or 4 years, kind of pretty much. The culture was in place. So it made it easier for me to work with just a couple, like 20 kids in this group, the 6th and 7th grade level. Sure. With Jason, with youth sports coming back in the state of California, especially Southern California, what's your mindset going into this part of the season? The kids have been off. Your kids have been playing, but everybody else hasn't been playing. And so there's a lot of concern about rushing things back too quickly. There's a concern about injuries. We're seeing the football side of things playing 2 games a week versus 1, trying to kind of condense the season. What are your thoughts on all the dynamics associated with youth sports returning in Southern California? I think we have to be very cautious. I think that's an excellent starting conversation point that we need to have. I was a big proponent of that for the AAU startup. Yeah. As soon as they open something up, it's not time to go running out there. You know, and a lot of the things that these guys and organizers, they don't take for account. One of my biggest pet peeves is the warm-up time they allot for the youth sports. It's pathetic. What is it, Jay? What is it? How much is the warm-up time? We got protocols at the door. You get to your bench, they're like a minute on the clock. I'm like, I got guys tying up shoes. Let kids go through an adequate. If you're going to do a tournament that I'm going to play in, that's why I like Made Hoops. They give you a 15-minute warm-up. League stuff. League stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you get over there, you put your shoes on at a nice time. They want to get you running in. And the thing, sometimes I'm like at the fighting with the refs. I'm like, look, I got parents outside. I'm not starting the game before the kid's parent got to pay $20 and he's going to miss the tip.
Yeah,
His
please.
kid is killer. Like, his kid is getting ready to do something to me. You know what I mean? He's outside. No. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, these guys is crazy, man. Look at Jay Shack. Man.
Shout out Jay Shack. He's been Jay Shackelford out of University of Alabama, been absolutely lighting it up. He's a former true.
Not the only one.
Oh, but we gonna get into that. Hey, we gonna get into all that.
Fives on the screen now.
Bruh, we gonna hey, bruh, we gonna get into all that.
Fives.
Jay, let's take it back though, just so that my viewers get the opportunity to understand who Jason Crowe is. Let's talk about where you were born and raised. Where did you grow up?
I grew up at the Arlington and Adams Dip. Period.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean?
The one you when you go over, you get butterflies in your stomach if you go over too fast.
And it's crazy because I lived right up under it, the first block under it, till I was, 8?
Wow.
And then I moved the second block over it, right around the corner from that Marvin Gaye spot.
Yes.
I was directly around the corner from that. I went from under to over.
Jay, I don't mean to interrupt you. No, keep going, bro.
No, that's it.
So look, where you lived, my little brother, I love McConan. He grew up right off there off of 21st Street, right around the corner from the Marvin Gaye house. He grew up over by you, 21st Street. He grew up over by you, bro.
Yeah, right
that's
there
a trip.
on that little walkway. Yeah,
that's a trip. That neighborhood is produced. That neighborhood is produced. Mid-city area, as somebody just commented in the chat, has produced a lot of Los Angeles talent. Talk about though growing up in LA. Who's your favorite athlete?
Growing up in LA?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Curtis Conway.
Okay. Why?
Right. Because I was live. He was just mesmerized me at a young age. I was a football guy. That didn't shift until later. Growing up, I was football. Baldwin Hills. My dreams was all about football.
What position? What position?
Quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback. Anything skilled though. But I was a quarterback. I mean, even my dad, he was just like
option. Wishbone, Jamel Holloway type stuff.
No, I wasn't an option. I was a go though. I wasn't an option, but I would go. I'd drop back, look around. Nothing there. A lot of times, it was like he was open. But you happy with the results? Yeah, I was nice at I was in that Dorsey chain, getting ready to come up. Antonio Carrion's first.
Oh man, Kevin Copeland. Copeland kind of started that.
Yeah. They were up ahead of me, and they started giving me props, young fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started, feeling that. I was more of a football person coming up.
Oh, dope, man. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 3 sisters.
Okay, 3 sisters.
3 sisters.
So that's like my dad. He grew up with, I believe 5 sisters growing up in the house. Talk about what it's like growing up with sisters versus, brothers. What was the atmosphere in the home like, and what sort of characteristics did you have to learn to be able to survive in that piece?
Well, the good thing for me is that it's like an 8-year gap between my next sibling and then another 12-year gap. So I was like, we had 2 different styles of parenting and raising. We came into, so we moved to the other across the dip. That's when we had another child. So I had already had a whole childhood already, below the dip. I was on bikes and already at Rancho Park and, doing all that. Then I come up here. So I guess they felt the need to protect the 2 girls. It was just great. They were raised totally different than me. And I think that was smart,
Did you guys?
They had a babysitter over here across the street. You know what I mean? I came and went as I pleased. I was on a bus.
The RTD, right? Just back in those days.
Man. Yeah. Shoot, 7 years old. I was on that bus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People don't remember that era of LA, but that was a real serious era. I mean, you had your bus card, your little card, you had a dime in your wallet to make a call just in case there was an emergency, and you had the key. You had the latch. That's the latchkid key life.
You had that key. Don't lose that key.
Don't lose that key because you was getting your ass beat if you lost.
You lost that key. Yeah, you go play it off. What kind of story you coming up with?
Oh man.
What up, Joe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jake.
Producing talent.
Staying on your childhood, man, I kind of always wondered about this. I don't think we've ever really discussed it, but talk about the first time you met Paul. Where were you guys at? Like, how old were you when you first hooked up with Paul Pierce?
You know, this is a story that's never been told. Like I should call him in. This is when I first met him. 9th grade year, Inglewood. I'm playing JV. Okay, we playing Morningside. Okay, it's not going well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get in
Stace in them.
No, I'm on JV. That's not my.
Okay.
My fight yet. I'm not worthy. But I'm on JV. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I'm on JV. Paul's in the 8th. He's at the game. They checked me in. I had on black socks. He was like, he got on black socks. You know, I hear parties out here. You know. So then it's the garbage. I dropped 3-4 threes. I get to dance on the sideline, interacting with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we just became boys from that day. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's where it all started for real. I dropped 3-4 threes in the garbage. I was big on camping.
The garbage. I love it, man.
In that last JV minute, because everybody's in there, the varsity game is running late.
Yeah.
You know, Inglewood, we play Westchester at 9 p.m.
Please.
Like, yeah, so the varsity game, it's always 8 o'clock. You know, in 3s at 8.
It's on. Electric in that gym around 8 o'clock before the varsity game.
Varsity, like,
please.
Around.
Being sweet.
Yeah, that day I met him, that was like, that was a big day. I don't think I ever talked about that day, but that day, Inglewood became the city that now I'm Inglewood now, you know?
And the
no
thing
turning back.
And the thing about it, man, it's like, so when I went to Crenshaw in 92, I think it was my first year, 92, 93, 94, I graduated. That first couple of weeks, Paul was actually checked into Crenshaw.
Yeah, you know what happened?
Couple of weeks at Crenshaw. Talk to me.
Look, this is a story. People know this story, but the corporates. But this is gonna be public, okay? Rashid has it. Venice High, wide open over there. Me and Paul, you know, I talk him. We going to Venice. We going to Venice because you know what I mean. Because we had our bias was the coach at Inglewood. So at the time, his whole thing was more or less giving opportunity to seniors. He wasn't a fan of me and Paul's style, like this style. It was more of this, we were ready to fire threes and play hard. Like we were under Pat Roy. Pat Roy was not the coach at this time. So, you know, I couldn't go. This is the plan we copped up. We was this close to getting it done. It didn't, my side, we failed. So, you know what I mean? So now he's out. And then he's at Crenshaw. But then what happens is Pat Roy gets the job. Pat Roy was our JV coach. Okay. So he got the job, and then we came back. Look at young
John.
Yes, sir. International.
What up, John?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
But so he gets the job. Pat Roy gets the job. So he gets the job, and then now he talks Paul, come back, and then, you know, that changes everything. But that's why he was at Crenshaw, because we were out. I mean, our bias, that wasn't going to be for us, you know?
Yeah, I think that, so one of the stories that I heard, it's going to be kind of funny, of the reason Paul checked out is because everybody was cussing him a little too much at Crenshaw. He just couldn't take it. And he said, hey, man, I can't take everybody cussing me all the time, and I got to get up out of here. It's just too much cussing. It's too much cuz this, cuz that. Is that the reason why he left?
I mean, that is a reason to go. You know what I mean? But I think it was more basketball reasons for real. I think he got
for sure.
And then the Inglewood thing reopened, like it, because you know it had changed. Like, you know, Crenshaw's tough. You gotta come in there ready to go.
Yeah,
you gotta come in ready to go.
But Jay, so you and Paul joined forces in Inglewood. Talk about just your experience playing high school basketball with Paul and some of the highs and then some of the lows of your career together at Inglewood.
Well, we only had one low. I mean,
JR?
Yes.
Talk about that. Straight to it.
JR's story?
Yeah.
You gonna make me open that wound, huh?
Well, he was just on the show. JR Sakuragi.
Right, well, I gotta watch because I don't know if you remember this. So we up 8 points. We're at Inglewood. I open up their locker room door.
Oh.
We're going to Oakland. Those role players, those others, they came back to second half.
Wait, Jay. At halftime, wait.
Dunk. 3. da-da-da-da, dunk, cut. Like, no, he was too much.
Jay, at halftime of the game, you went. So the locker room was next door. East Bakersfield's locker room was next door.
Arrowhead Pine.
Arrowhead
Anaheim.
Pizon, and
Yeah.
you went and you opened the door and you
This
said,
is a real story.
"We going to Oakland at
We
halftime."
going to Oakland. We didn't go to Oakland. That was the low point. So then we out here, right? And I never forget it, right? It's going downhill. They coming back. Like, it was a good game. We was up 8. I just felt we was going to press and do what we do to everybody.
Yeah.
Run through you.
Yeah.
The little guards they had, but whatever. Okay, so second half, I just remember this. We on the bench. You know, it's going, the ship is sinking. I looked at Paul like, safe? That's the first time I really gave it up to him, though.
Yeah.
Like I really looked for him to, like, he looked at me like, man, you do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You do something.
You do something. I'm out here. I got my customary. I got my average. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
had his average. I did.
He good. Yo, man.
Yeah.
But just give the folks back out there some context on just how raw that 90s high school basketball was in the city of Los Angeles, Inglewood, Southern California.
It was very raw, you know, and I was a fan of it. I grew up under it. All my heroes in the game, they come from the streets. The memory that I have of LA basketball that I will always treasure is, you know, I'm gonna take you back. No phones in the 90s.
Take us back.
No phones
Nope.
in the 90s, right? For kids, like no
Nope.
phones, no way to communicate with your parents. I'm
Right.
leaving school. Gumby's at home. You know where Gumby lived in Inglewood?
Wait,
Right
just
by
let
Rodgers.
everybody know James Gumby Gray, Westchester High School, LA legend. Go ahead.
Yeah, Westchester legend. So he lives right there off of Fairview. You know, we walk in Inglewood. It's a small city. We walk the whole city of Inglewood. Kids, you know what I mean? We just the town. We walk it around. So as I'm walking after school. You know, whatever day, Gumby is going to the city. Like, he's like, you want to ride? You can ride with my pops to the game. Gumby, like, he asked me to ride with his pops to the game.
That's a big deal.
Huh?
That was a big deal back
He asked
then.
me? Yeah. He said, you can ride with my pops. I rode in the back seat I came with Gumby. We was cool. Like, no, we was cool. We was cool. It was always cool. Like, it was always love. Like, Gumby,
Sure.
Young, but I came to that game with him. That meant something to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell people, if they want to know my game, it starts with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to tell you I'm as fluid as him, but if you look at my playmaking and my reads and my stuff, you're going to see a lot of him in me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what I'm saying? He is a guy that birthed, like, that I look to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people like Stace Bozeman.
Man.
I go to him my first pro camp. He's there to guide me. And you know what I'm saying? And then
What camp was that? What camp was that?
The Lacrosse Bobcats.
Yes, sir. Yes, CBA.
Stace Bozeman.
I was in Quad City. at the time,
guy.
Jay. Yeah, no question. No question.
Come on, it's real runs, you know. You got to run by the bar on your way out to the game. You know what I mean? They got all the drinks.
Oh, yeah, lacrosse. Yeah. I forgot about that.
The G League. Yes, they got the G League now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the evolution of the game, and we love that, you know. But no, LA basketball with those guys, but like that's the era that I had, and all like the game that I wanted to be like these guys.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be these guys. I studied Dom when he was at Hawthorne High, the way he raised up on his J, the way he timing. I studied him. You know what I'm saying?
Dom Ellison. Yeah.
Yeah, Stace Bozeman, James Gray.
Yeah.
Those are my guys. Like those guys are my guys.
Yep.
And the 90s was so real for LA basketball because it was like a thing. Like it was a thing. Like it was really events. Like you would even see the G's, the veterans coming back to the sports arena. You would see like the Washington High games. You know what I'm saying? Packed in there.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, there
It's
was
crazy.
good atmosphere.
The walls were sweating. Yeah, the walls would
Man,
be
it was
sweating.
great atmosphere to play in. You know, you dreamed of like that was almost like you didn't think about playing the league. I didn't. I mean, I don't think nobody. I wasn't really. It was about can you ball in this? You know what I'm saying?
Can you hoop here?
I want to make a three and look around in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's real hoop stuff. Like, you know.
Yep. I do. Talk about who recruited you coming out of Inglewood High School in college.
Man, that's a sad subject. You know. You know. Nah,
but keep it real. Just keep it real.
No, it ain't really sad. I mean, it was good though. Like it was good. Like I was getting recruited by everybody, you know, but like not everybody. Let me tell you a situation. Okay, situation. So listen, they want Paul. Jelani goes to Cal.
Gardner
goes to Cal. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, Romar got the last scholarship for UCLA for Jelani Gardner for that year.
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
I remember.
Jelani goes to Cal. They come back in, and Pat Roy sets it up where I can take that and go to UCLA on scholarship to get Paul guaranteed the next year. That was on the table.
Hey, I like those.
Roy.
P. Roy, shout out P.
Roy. That's what I'm saying. I said no because I wanted to hoop for real. Like reality, I knew what it was. Like let's not be kidding ourselves.
Yeah.
I knew what it was, and I think it was a thing with me when I never wanted to do that. I didn't know what Paul wanted to do. And I take the same approach to my kids. I don't influence decisions where kids should go to school.
Yeah.
I lay out the table and we have conversations. No, you know, I never told a kid where to go. You know, I would never do that. So I didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But I did think about it and I did like, dang, I did work myself good enough to be able to play there at the end. But I didn't come, you know. But that was a situation on the table. So I had some schools. I had everything had me number 2. Like I was behind Tank, all the recruitment, everything had me number 2. They had me kind of shaky. You know, it was like me and Andre Miller felt the same way. That's why we always we played together a lot, played against each other. Like, man, they don't like us.
And the funny part was you and Dre Miller, you guys were tall guys at the one, long, with high basketball IQ, incredible instincts on the floor, defensive intensity, offensively could pretty much control and dictate however you guys wanted. And it's just so shocking that they were so gassed up on everybody else. But, I mean, you got to think about it. When you got a Jelani Gardner, 6'6", coming out of high school, looking good at the prototype type situation, you had a Ricky Price. Price, 6'5", shooter, sweet, jumps up to here on his jumper. So it was one of those things like I was coming out because Jelani and Ricky made the All-Star game, made the McDonald's game over like myself and Trey and a bunch of other guys in the Southland. And so our thinking at the time, you know, we felt
what's your thinking at this time?
We felt slighted. I mean, we were the city. We felt slighted. Hey, it was one of the biggest slights of all time for me and Tremaine. And me and Trey going to talk about this tomorrow because we felt like we put it down. Because remember when championships matter?
You feel like you put it down. Let me tell you something. Listen, I tell people this all the time. Like, it was ain't no feel like. Y'all had an era. When y'all beat Modern Day, that was a stamp. That was a stamping.
Yes, sir.
They came with the brigade. This is the game where we're gonna finally. No, that was it. It didn't. You know what I'm saying? To me, in that era, that game was let's see.
Yeah.
Shea Cotton's out there, greased up, above the rim. You know what I'm saying?
Reversing.
Yeah, what's going on with this? Let's see. Now that was the stamp game, and it was a rain. Y'all had a rain, so, you know, but I don't know. Like, I'm not a voter, but what I did was just get better. You know, like, I was a guy, like, we come up from that, so I buried myself in the gym. I thank Patrick Roy. He gave me a work ethic. Scott Collins, the officers, they gave us a work ethic. Nobody outworked me. I was in the gym. Like, I got better. I went from in high school, my profile changed. So I don't blame the scouts because they all came back. That's what I tell kids. Like, when I was in high school, I got 0 dunks. As a freshman and during college, I got 33 dunks. I'm a different guy.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that thing down now.
Wait, Jay.
That changes things.
You're
like,
freshman.
You know what I'm saying?
Your freshman year, you went to, so your college career, you started at CSUN, then ended up at American, right?
No. My freshman year was actually at Trade Tech.
Oh, okay.
I end
Excuse
up,
me.
yeah, I did. So what happened with me? So I go here. I'm supposed to, man. I'm just a product of Inglewood. So I'm messing up. I'm in Eastern Michigan. Then I'm at Wayne State. But that thing helped me because I actually got with a guy named. I was in the lab with Rashad Phillips with his father. A guy named Terrence took me down there with all the runs at St. Cecilia at Michigan. So you got to think that 94, 95 Michigan era, I was in Detroit working out daily, and working out for a year. I came back to Trade Tech, utterly embarrassed. I'm like last chance you, and I shot 70% from the field. I was dunking on guys, and I was better than everybody at this point in the junior college on the West.
Let's touch on that Michigan experience. Rashad Phillips is a very popular player evaluation guru on the internet. Talk soon. They call him the Yoda. Talk about what you learned from Rashad and some of those other players, or the workouts and stuff and the competition, and some of the other guys in that Detroit area or that Michigan area that you were going against.
Yeah, well, Rashad was young. So Rashad was just playing on video games, because Rashad's younger than me. So he was a baby. He would get out there though, and he would get his work in, and he would get in some of those runs, but it wasn't really him. It was like who was in those runs was like the Mike Chappelle's, the Willie Mitchell's, the Mo Taylors.
So Michigan, Duke. Okay.
Yeah. So I was immersed in this run. Like it was all those guys, the Terrence Roberson,
T-Robe.
Yeah, the Albert White.
Like,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I was in those runs, and then the Mike Hams.
Yes, sir.
Rose got a tattoo of a dude named Mike Ham on his arm that died. Like that dude took me everywhere, and showed me Detroit. And we worked because we both was in the same thing. He played with Jalen Rose in college and was still trying to get on, talking to Perry Watson, trying to get opportunities. Yeah. I'm over here. I'm a disgrace. What am I gonna do? So we out here grinding. And I came back and brought that energy back to Trade Tech. And at the same time, when I come back, you got Jason Hart's in Inglewood. So
Baby J.
So Baby J's in Inglewood. So what we do, we work out. I mean, we work out developed that bond right there. And we just went to different levels. The training is we're both not going to be outworked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's brutal. It's brutal.
Talk about the training, the LA, the working out, the scene in LA when you come home. Like, what did it consist of? I remember we used to be at the Spectrum Club. We do the dunes and stuff like that. But what type of workouts? Because your stuff is legendary, J. Crowe. So I just kind of want to give the audience an idea of what you were getting off.
I want to give shout out and credit to Dart Stamps.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dart brought a competitiveness at that time, too. During that time, he had everybody just, go at it. He had Barron, Bean, Turn, Kenny Bruner, Jason Hart. It's just you got to fade. So they would be in Trade Tech a lot. They would come get the gym. So that was good. And then the thing about Dart that I really would love is that he went and got the physical side, too. He went and got on them bands and got all that dynamic training. Yeah. And he showed the impact of recovery. He started bringing all that to the table. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is new info here. So I started that Spectrum Club, so we would be doing all that. You remember that time? That's the life. Spectrum Club was like heaven, bro.
Hey, we be in there all day. Hey, we be in there all day.
First of its kind. NBA, people don't remember. It wasn't no NBA facilities.
No.
They didn't exist. The Lakers practiced in Inglewood wherever they could. You know what I mean? The Forum was the facility. So if it's a concert or something in the Forum, they got to go and do some other stuff.
Figure it out.
You know what I mean? So, P-Dub.
Shout out Peyton Watson in the building.
Yes, sir. He the realest on the West right now.
No question.
Got to give him his love.
Yes, sir.
But it was not. The Spectrum Club was like heaven to us because you didn't have to leave. They had everything there. You can do your recovery there. They had a great healthy kitchen. that made like this hearty salads, you know what I mean? With
The good
rice,
chicken sandwich, the good chicken sandwich with the good juice, the good juice.
Oh, the fresh juice. They had that, so it was an athlete's paradise. And then
Absolutely.
you had the dunes down the street.
Yep.
So my whole thing was I would try to bless, I would try to work out all day and recover there. I would like try to get me my UCLA in, my real run-ins, whatever kind of pickup. But I was trying to get that dunes and then weights and them shots up. Just had to get all that in. Like it's like almost like paranoia if you don't get all that stuff in.
Well, yeah, and that's a great point, Jay. The whole paranoia thing, because for me, thinking about what you guys were doing, and I know Jay's over there. I heard them dudes was running the ridge with weight vests. I heard them dudes. Somebody spotted Jay Crowe and them over here. I'm like, oh, let me go hit a hill. Let me go get in the dunes and try to hit it the whole way up, without stopping, because I know that y'all over there doing some sick stuff. And that was the time, man. But that's the type of competition and type of work ethic that really drove all of us in that era. We fed off of each other and how hard everybody was working, man. And I always respected you for that.
See, what I liked about yours is you would go high. Because I would spot you like, ooh, deep undercover.
I had to.
Incognito tip.
Yo, low key.
Some word.
Real low, bro.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I'm gonna give. Look, one of the best days of hooping and one of the biggest disappointments. I don't know why. This thing went under the radar. Like that Antoine Walker came and just scooped us out. But I told everybody, I said, Chris just annihilated us. Did anybody know that? Like he just
rewind. Talk about the Real Run Championship. I actually had it on my paper. That's when you had the triple double. So Jay, you got to set the whole setting for who was on both teams, the whole nine. Go ahead, man. You got it.
Man, Real Run was a great time. All the leagues we played in was great, but Real Run was a great time because DeAnthony was a monster. He was like, look, if you wasn't a pro, you can't be in the league. So it's pros on pros.
Pros on pros.
Pros on pros, period. And we talking what? We talking. You know what I mean? So you got to come out here. You're not leaving this gym. Either you cracking somebody or you getting cracked. You're not going to survive. You're not going to be able to maintain and none of this type of stuff like this at that time. We're coming in here every night to destroy you and yell at you. You know what I'm saying? And absolutely annihilate you. Don't bring your girl, your family. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Not a good look.
That's going to make it worse. And anybody, your mama, your daddy, your auntie, girl, all that, we're going to be looking like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, that was a great era. But, the championship, like, come on, you had that game, you had Paul Pierce, you had, that
Baron Davis.
Baron Davis. I mean, it was you
Eric
on one
Strickland,
side.
yeah.
Eric Strickland.
Antonio Harvey.
Like, come on.
League dude.
Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Toby Bailey. You know what I'm saying? In his prime, people can hate if they want. Toby Bailey was Atletico. You know what I mean?
Atletico, okay.
Yeah, he was athletic. He would go boom on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But so the halftime of that game, man. So we're playing against Jay Crow's team. We had been missing a player. I think we had like 6 guys, right? So it was you and Paul.
Antoine not here.
Yeah, so we're waiting on Antoine, right? So Jay, break this down, man. When you saw Antoine walk in at halftime, what were your thoughts?
He's here. It's good for the show. Like my thing is good for the show.
Yeah.
And this is why I give credit because like Antoine came, but he got on one, but it was a figuring out like little period.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I think I want to see this episode again and finish all the stuff with you and Toby because I want to see if you touched on that. Because I thought that was personal. I thought that was a personal thing. I'm sorry. Because Toby was on my team.
I thought that was personal.
Out in transition. Like, you was out. It was a new game for you. Like, I think people, like this thing people don't really know about your game. It's not a lot of footage of that era of you.
Yeah.
And that's why I got to appreciate it for your game too, because that was a different type of KJ. This KJ, you were hitting lanes and out to the corner. Like the way the NBA game is played today,
Yeah.
with the spacing, with the
Yeah.
PJ Tucker types. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
The way you was hitting corner to corner. So playing with a John Wall, playing with a guard, a Damian Lillard, playing with a guard that gets out and needs space.
Yeah.
I see. You know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah.
game is like fitting that mold. It's crazy.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a good time, man. People didn't understand that I lost all the weight, and so I had to play a faster speed. I went from being a center to a shooting guard in just one summer. But Jay, we're gonna keep this about you, my brother. So
Yeah.
I want to hear about that first job because you were one of the first cats that I knew that put it down in the NBL over in Australia. You was on the Gold Coast for a minute, right? You was on the Gold Coast for a minute, and now that league is sort of taking off. Jay, talk about the early days of the Australian Professional Basketball League and some of your experiences over there as a pro.
Yeah, it was a great league to play in. You got great coaches. You got the professionalism at an all-time high. Like, you know, for me being in Europe, okay, yeah, when you go into that Euro Cup game, that NEBL and all that, you're gonna live nice. But Australia, they insisted on living nice. Like we came in, it was limos at the airport.
Wow.
Like, yeah, they keep the professionalism high. Like,
yeah,
at that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was Sofitel or nothing.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was. So that's that NBL. Everything's on a beach. It was nice venues, great fans, and then it was you know, they're really cognizant about how they interact with their fans. I think that's why their league is so successful.
Wow.
Because you have to spend a lot of time doing media.
Yeah.
When I played in Europe, the bulk of early in my career, all of that career early. So you didn't do media in Europe. Like, you take a couple shots, whatever, they know how to use that stuff. No, in Australia, you have to go out to the towns. You have to show up at the mall. You have to go do those appearances and do the radio stations. You have to do the after the game with the fans and the wine and the cheese.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta go to Moo Moo's on the strip.
What city were you in? What city were you
I was
in?
in Gold Coast, baby. They call that that's Surfer's Paradise.
Okay.
They call that the Vegas of Australia.
How far is that from like Melbourne, Sydney, or Brisbane?
Just some flights.
Okay, just a quick one.
Yeah, but no, not Brisbane. Brisbane is right down the road. So Brisbane is 45 minutes.
Okay.
So Brisbane is 45 minutes. You fly. Gold Coast got its own airport though. So sometimes you will fly into Brisbane, and then you'll go because the airport's like the same from the city. But yeah, Brisbane is right there. That league is great. Had a great time in that league. I played for a team that was new. It was new, so I played with also Hawkins, Joaquin Hawkins, was my teammate.
Oh, you played with Hawk out there?
Yeah, played with Hawk out there.
How'd y'all do? Did y'all win a championship?
No, we actually set records though because we were the first team as a new expansion team to make the playoffs.
Wow.
So that was our accomplishment. Like,
that's a big deal.
We came in, our job was to make the playoff. That's one of them leagues where we came in as expansion. Like we came in with our job was to make it sustain and get in here and let's make the playoffs. And we had a great fan following. That was a great accomplishment. And we set the 3-point record for a team, 20-26. Record still stands today.
For in one game?
Yeah. That record still today for a team. So you think about that as in 2008, and that was our coach, Brendan Joyce. He coaches the Opals. And he was letting us play, bro. Like 2008, he was playing that style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowe zone. That's where it comes from, baby. That open style. That open bombs away style. They let you play that style. When you come down and they started looking like, okay, I can go 4 for 9 on average. You let me shoot 9. That's cool. Yeah. I'm getting 9 up. All right, that's cool. I agree to that.
Yeah. And Jay, before Australia, though, you touched on some European experiences. Talk about the differences as far as playing style between Australia and Europe.
Australia and Europe, you play, it's different styles, bro. Like, that's the thing about Europe. Europe is multi-style. You have to be adaptable. So many players came out the NBA as my teammates, and they couldn't stick. They would come over because you have to be adaptable. I played for different coaches. I played for a coach. He want that thing in the 50s. We had Czech national team, 7'4" center. He want that game in the 50s. No pull-up threes. You know what I mean? He took me out one game. I had my wife and my daughter was newborn out there. I was on Soul Note and hungry. We was going for the chip. That's what we was going for the chip.
Yeah.
And he took me out. He said, "Listen, you have your wife over there, and your newborn baby. I don't want no more pull-up threes." You know what I mean? Like, in other words, you like how you eat. You like what we doing.
He hit you with that?
I don't want no more because my wife here, so I'm trying to. She flew up. I'm pulling up three.
Come on, Jay.
I hit it. He took me out like, okay, it's not. It goes against the philosophy though. He want that thing in the 50s. His thing was, we're going to methodically half court defend you, walk you out. We're going to beat you 50-43. We're not here for the fans. We're not here for all that. Get the ball to Powell. Wait for him. He didn't want you to shoot nothing on the break but a legitimate layup.
Sounds like
a legitimate layup. No.
Sounds like Ben Howland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Average a career low 9. We average 50.
Career low 9.
Like, I'm negotiating. Like, man, we average 50. I'm 9, 120. Like, you know what I mean? Like, same thing.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Jay, do you remember that time? I don't know where we were. We went somewhere for that IBL team. Do you remember that when we went overseas somewhere? Do you remember? No,
man. Look, that was a good time, man. And you remember that camp? Like, so that was like, that just went to Europe. Because that's when, like, I'm trying to make it. I'm so glad. And I try to tell players all the time, go to Europe because you have a chance to blow there. Now, did I miss the league or whatever? Okay. Because at that camp, Chris, I'm out there mooking everybody ridiculous. You were sitting there talking.
It was ridiculous.
Nobody could dribble with me. Big time D1 guards, all this, all
picking up full.
Dribble the ball up. Let's go. That was the strength of my game. It's going to be very hard for you to consistently bring the ball up the court.
Yes.
I'm going to take the ball off of pretty much every guard that played, and I'm going to go down and dunk it or whatever.
Yep.
With a couple guys that, you know what I'm saying? With a couple guys that will walk through that. Only a couple.
Yeah.
No, but that was a good. You know what's so crazy about that? That's when Paul had just got stabbed.
Yep.
That was in Vegas.
We were together.
Lionel Hollins.
Yeah.
Lionel Hollins was the coach.
Yep.
Yeah, we was together. That was a good thing. Anderson Hunt.
Yep.
Gerald
Patio.
Gerald Patio.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that was a different era of hoop. Like, so that's why I really love the fact, like, when you have the NBA Summer League, it gets on ESPN.
Yeah.
So now these guys, I watch, like, the guys have a better platform.
Yeah.
Like, everything was live when we played. You had to go show it, fly in and show.
Yes.
It wasn't a lot of, like, just let's see the video or he's on ESPN. These ways to scout you. No. Let's fly him in and let's get a bunch of guards in here. Those mini camps going into, like, summer league, try to be on a summer league team, are the most brutal, intensified experiences you ever going to see. Yeah. Because it's going to be 2 a days. It's going to be brutal, 3-4 hours of hooping and all that, and high level of competition and grabbing and pushing and shoving.
Yep. No, high level stuff. Yeah. It was a game. It was not a game, bro.
It's not a game.
Something I always wanted to know, Jay, having been with you at the time that it happened, we both got the news at the same time. I just wanted to know what went through your mind, man, when your best friend, we found out your best friend got stabbed like 10 times in Boston. You know, just talk a little bit about that. You don't got to go too deep, but just talk a little bit about it. I want to hear your thoughts on that shit.
Yeah, man, that was tough. And the crazy thing about it is that we had a job to do. We had to go to work. We had to go out there and work on our games and do what we had to do, you know, and nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Having you there, you knew that, but nobody else could see that. I couldn't show a weakness of this, come out there, you know what I mean? So, but that was very difficult. But the only thing that made it good is that, because the first news we got was he was dead, remember?
Yes.
That's the first news we got.
Yes,
bro. That news first.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
And that came through first. And you know what? I got so many calls from people, support people like Tina Thompson reaching out. We had some great conversations with people. And, you know, it just makes you. I really love being an Inglewood guy for reasons like that because it's a small little 4x4 mile city. You know what I mean? So it becomes a family in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that I love about being from Inglewood, like, because I felt the love, and I felt that he had the love, and I felt everything was going to be fine. And this thing, I know Paul. So Paul, to me, from knowing him the way he is, man, he's like one of the most mentally toughest guys I've ever like been around in my life. Like too much to the point where it could be almost becoming a negative because he's just too like belief. Like I've seen him go 0 for 15 and then come back and kill. He came back out like I'm killed. I'm like you're over. He dropped 48 in the second half. How you go 0 for 15 and then you weak, man?
You the P, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you the P, dog.
He came back like I'm killer. He came back and dropped 48 in the second half. So it's like, so I know that about him. Like, I know that about him. You know what I'm saying? I know how his toughness, his grit. So just to see him go through and look on it just became something where it strengthened us all. I mean, it strengthened us all as a community.
Yep.
You know, and his leadership, it's really when he became big bro, for real, man. Like, he was younger than me. You know, it's the time he became big bro, you know, for real.
Yeah, I remember Paul. I remember Paul, I think, you know, after he had recovered and was straight, I think he was living across the street from like Fox Hills Mall. You remember that spot over there?
Yeah.
So a couple, here's Nano. So a couple, you know, we work out, I see him, he invite me over, you know, we're hanging out, you know, just kicking it, man. But that was all about the camaraderie that we had with each other, man. A lot of cats didn't even realize on the low. We didn't have social media, so I wasn't taking selfies.
There wasn't no social media, right.
But it was going down. Jay, bro.
Yeah.
And we're thankful that Paul is straight, man, and that was a crazy episode of our life, but, you know, we all turned out on top. But after you kind of, you know, finished up in Australia, right, you're thinking about now, hey, kind of going into the twilight of your career, you're thinking about transitioning out of basketball. What was your decision-making process when you decided to get out of the game as a player and to kind of get into the game as a coach, developer of men, mentor?
Well, you know, the players made me do it. They showed me where they needed me. I always stayed around the young players because even when I was 34, 35, like I would go work out with all the vets and do all that stuff, but I wanted to rip and run. I would go work out in my high school, get into high school practices. I did that at 35 years old. I would go to junior college and do this. I would go to AAU workouts. I was going to Rockfish workouts, get out there, get up and down. Like, I wanted to do everything, you know what I mean? I wanted to stay with the speed, and I wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, yes, sir, true people. Yes, sir. And what made me want to get into the kids is because, honestly, I was watching kids get told the wrong thing. You know, and I saw that it wasn't no basketball people that let these kids maximize their talents. Like I had, like Robert Cartwright was the first kid that I started working with. And, you know, I was like, wow, okay, this is, you know, they telling him that he's not good enough. I'm like, this kid's motor is off the charts. He's a little erratic, but like, you know what I mean? But like, he needs some guys, some tooling. But it's one faction of people, they're trying to tell you what you should be. They're trying to tell you, like, this is what you are. Like, that's what the game will do. The game will put you like, here, you're this.
In a box.
Yeah, you're this. Like, or you're not good enough for that. No, but they don't do that in a way to hurt you. They do it because I realized later when I got in the game, they do it because they can't see the vision for you. They can't see you. They can't, like me being a player, I look at my story like you talked about. Where did I get recruited? Let's redo it. Let's redo it. Okay, let's look at my career where it ended up and compared to the people that you recruited. Like I tease Dave Millers all the time. He came and got the guy next to me never played a game for Utah State. If I played at Utah State, I'd have been the best guy you ever recruited. You know what I mean?
In the front of that
You didn't
three-quarter
recruit no
court press.
pros.
Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
You didn't recruit no pros out there.
Come
at the
on, bro.
guard. You know what I mean? So you was in the gym every day. You didn't see me. I was this. But I get it though, because I'm the player on the inside. I know how hard I work. I know what I'm working towards. And that's the thing with the guys, like even watching Hyman, like I watch people say, nah, you know, I watch people tell me Shackelford, nah. I'm telling them like, dude, these guys are gonna be the best guys, man. Y'all don't know how they work. Y'all don't know, like, you gonna put somebody in front of them and then try to win? You know what I'm saying? Good luck. You know what I mean? Because these guys is hungry, man.
Yeah.
The way they compete, the way they do, you know what I'm saying? So I saw the need for me to implement, you know, my passion and my love and everything I know and just start giving it out. Like I got more joy out of just giving it and watching the players' dreams and overcome and do great. You know, and I don't take credit. I don't play, you know, like I don't play. So I'm not one of them, you know, like this is like, you got to play.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I don't take credit when it goes bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't take credit when it goes good. But I know one thing, like, my intensity and my approach, I think I can give you an understanding of what's required and what the standard is. You know, I know what the standard is. I know what's required. So, you know, that's just what I do to all the players that get up there in the coverage.
Yeah, and talk about some more of the players that have come through your program since you started this back in 2015.
Yeah. It's been a lot, man. Like, you know something, Chris? I'm going to tell you this while you're here, too, because you got me on here, but it's your show, but I'm going to hijack you. Because I'm going to no, but I didn't, not pre-planned, but this is a real thing, because it's touching on this, for real. This is the good thing, for real. I watch you coach when you came to our program. And I saw what you was giving the kids, and they wasn't ready. And a lot of them kids, they were the top kids. They the good kids. They hooping now. They really good kids. So what I did was, during the pandemic, I said, I need to prepare these kids for that. They're not prepped for what you was giving them. See, I understood that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's crazy.
Prepped.
That's wild that you put it like that, because I've always I felt like a failure. So just from the experience I had.
You wasn't a failure. I
felt like a failure.
You can't dumb it down.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You cannot. You have to give what's required, and they have to reach. Those players, they're good players, but if they had been able to grasp what you were saying, we would see a difference in them. They could be bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what my thing was, and what I've taken from you is, I got to prepare. I learned from that situation and said, I got to prepare the freshes, the boogies, the J2s. I got to prepare the character of the athlete. The hoop is on them. I got to prepare them to deal with the information that great coaches are going to give them. They have to be ready to process the information that great coaches will give them. So that's the task that's motivating me now more than ever. Is like, I'm a hard coach to play for, because like, I'm not budging off the standard. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a coach I'm not a hard coach like sub you out. Like, that's not it. I'm not subbing you out. For who? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. I'm gonna sub you out for effort and all that. You can't be weak. But what I'm saying is, it's not that. I'm a tough coach in terms of, you need to reach the standard, kid. You can't show me that you can slide like this for time and then get in the game and don't slide like this, like you slide for time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I left the game at the biggest accomplishment in my career is that I was Eurobasket Defensive Player of the Year at 34. Yes, KG champion that.
That's sick.
Like, dude, I'll slide at 34. I'm picking up food to the day I die.
I'll slide.
You know what I mean?
I'll slide.
Yeah.
I'm picking up food to the day I die. We need to put that on a T-shirt. I'm picking up full to the day I die, dog.
Yeah, I'm done with it. If I can't pick it up full, I gotta pick you up. I gotta respect the game, dude. You're not about to come down here on me trying to organize. No, don't keep you disorganized. Yeah, that's my philosophy.
Yeah,
and that's the one I have with my players. Look at how this one I'm proud of. Look, not to harp on the two that I love, my babies, but look at Shaq and Hyman. Look how relentless they are defensively. Let's not even talk about their offensive exploits. Let's talk about how relentless, competitive nature. You know, this is the drive. This is the thing. And when you have that relentless, competitive nature, you listen and learn with that same competitive nature. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there with you because I've never shared that with you, but you sparked that, and the pandemic allowed that process to occur because it allowed me to focus on the middle school, and that's the focus. It's not winning games. It's not going out, we the truth, we win. We always the truth. Our boss is a Hall of Famer on the finalists. Let me not jinx it, but that's who we are. You know what I mean? Like,
please.
Talking about, like,
please.
Yeah, we're not looking for adulation in the competitions on the court. So I salute every program that's doing things and however way they do it, you know. I don't knock no program, and the competition is not amongst us programs. It's on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And putting the players are gonna make their own fate, you know, and that's what it is. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? That's big.
Jay, that's incredible because I swear, man, I always
my mom's right there, you know, like
yeah,
my mom's right there, Briggs Crowe.
Hey, what's
that? You know, she got love for Chris, you know.
I appreciate it.
Talk
about the story. Talk about the story. Talk about the story. Back in the day at the how old were we, Jay? We were 5 or 6 years old?
Man, we go back all the way back, dog.
We got to go back to that. We got to go back to that. We got to go back to that.
We didn't know that, though. We didn't know that. Though.
We didn't know that, but Jay, tell him, because you told me like later on in life, and I was just like, yo, that's wild. Break that down, Jay. Break it down.
Man, you know, Chris and his mom and my mom were in a crew in high school. You know, we were in that crew.
The crew, dog.
Yeah, we were in that crew in high school. That's what made it crazy when everything it came full circle. Cause like this is the way LA and people don't know us about LA guys. Like we're not Hollywood. That's the misconception. You're not from here. People that come here. So what I mean by we're not Hollywood, like we're not starstruck because of that. Like we appreciate stars though. We're not negative, but we appreciate stars. We appreciate relationships. We appreciate everything, but we're not starstruck. We live in this. So, you know what I'm saying? But just for us to be in a situation where we're the same age, you know, my mom, she can tell the story better than me because she tells me about it. That's what she tells me about it. You know what I mean? But we was together as babies, you know what I'm saying? Almost the same age, you know, you got 2 mothers that's going through life the same way. You know what I'm saying? And that's us, and we didn't know it. You know what I mean?
Hey, man,
and we didn't really have that relationship. People don't, like, look, we've been friends. She corrected me. Look,
we've
been friends since elementary.
Get it right, Jay. Get it right.
Yeah, but people didn't know that, but that's what's so real is that, but me and Chris, we wasn't, like, raised friends like this. Our friendship grew out of mutual respect over time, and then these stories started to evolve. Like, you know what I'm saying? And tie everything in together. Man, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no thing like we grew up this and that. We didn't. So like, even you didn't know where I was at the Arlington Dip and that earlier when we was talking and stuff like that. But we was together from young because of who we came into it with.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of people don't know my background. Like they know about my dad. They know about the glitz and the glamour of being in the league and living in Bel Air and, you know, growing up in View Park and all that type of stuff. But they don't know. But they don't know that I grew up off of 60th and Crenshaw, living with my mom and my grandma. They don't know about none of that part. But that part is going to get touched on at some point. But that part
shaped you, Chris, because it makes you are the, like, this is the thing that you need to get your flowers for, because it was birthed to you. You need to get more credit for what we do in LA and being like a cultural guy, like. For real, because this is why your show is so important. Because you have a tie-in to all that over there, and you still forever young. with your experience at UCLA and really being a dude. You know what I'm saying? Coming up through that thing. So for real, you being an LA guy to go in here and tell about our culture and everything that we go through in LA and have that voice from here to the national, that is big for us, more than I think we've had. Because you think about it, we've been talking about LA basketball, but not just LA basketball, LA scene. Like LA scene. You just said you was going 60. Stop, man. Like these aren't lies.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not at all. Not at all.
Bel Air and 60th?
I know. It's crazy.
People, what kind of, you don't get better, like the lessons of this, the exposure of this.
It's wild.
There's nobody, you know what I'm saying? So this is big for you, man. So I'm glad you got this platform.
Hey, and it's my mission, man, to talk to folks like you, everybody we grew up with, all my people, man, and just give folks that really deserve it the flowers. Because it's a certain thing. You know, you have the mainstream view of things, and then you have the stars of, like, in LA, you got stars, man, that nobody's ever heard of. Dudes that are legends that are walking around Los Angeles like yourself, that we go outside,
like
and, you know,
folks.
it's not the same. Yeah, Trey Folks, all these guys, man.
Trey.
And that's my whole goal for the show, man. But Jay, I got one more topic I'd like you to touch on, and then I'm gonna have to let you go. You know, this is a tough one because it's a very tragic event, and I want you to talk about Carl Lewis, the young man that he was, and how much he meant to you.
Carl is, you know, this is the thing I want to say to that too, is that I want to, we proud of the time that we have on this earth and the time that we spent and the dreams that we have. You know, I think that's what fueled us. And I think my biggest job with Carl was not basketball. Like, sometimes being a basketball player, when you see another basketball player, it's not the game that they need from you. It's the big brotherhood and the respect that they can keep going, the appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I don't like about the business of basketball and the sports. We become so driven into our agenda that a lot of times we don't factor in what happens if your agenda doesn't work. Like, so for example, to tie that in, like, one thing people don't really know, I don't really recruit a lot of kids because I gotta see you through. It's too much time for me. That's the one thing my family will tell you, like, I'm invested, dude. Like, the little 4-year-old kid, or I mean, like, not fourth grade kid that comes to my program, I want to see him be real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and with Carl, like, people would, this is the message I want people to understand with that. With Carl, live your game and let your game carry you. Don't step ahead of your game, you know? Because a lot of times kids are in positions to move freely. They don't have the parents, they don't have people directing their path, you know? Let your game elevate you. Because people will come in and they will try to offer things and they will try to make things greener and this and that, when really your game is your ticket. That's all you got. Your game is your ticket. Your game is your ticket, man. And, you know, that kid should be out there in the league. You know, I saw him, Chris, and I saw him, you came and saw him too, go for 50. He did that stuff that you heard about but didn't see. Like, he did that, like, that L Hood, like, 50. And remember, there's one picture that I want to find about Carl that'll make me happy, man. And it will tell his life story of how he was on the court. It's one picture. We playing Paramount. You probably got it.
Wait,
come on! He looked like a gorilla. He looked like a gorilla.
Please!
Like a gorilla at war.
That look.
Gorilla. See, the mind state that I always told him, This is the mind state that I was able to help you with. Because this is a real life gang member, man, and we grew up in gang culture. He was a guerrilla at war. So I was able to do this with him. I was able to get him to channel that into this. So I did that. Like, you know, he was able to channel that energy into this, into that killer mindset. You know what I'm saying? But that picture you have of him, he looked so cold. He had like something like 30 and 11 at the half, and he was in foul trouble and played like 13 minutes. He was just working, and it wasn't no hot dog. It was just work, man. It was just real live work and energy, and he was legendary with the work ethic. People don't realize that, man. Like, I remember that my guys was talking trash to him one day. Legendary Crowe story for everybody to understand about Crowe. Don't think he was just no kid that came out there and didn't work, man. His jumper was wet.
Wet.
So listen, legendary story about him, but this in my labs. I don't like telling my lab stories because they personal, but we on KJ Live, baby. We gotta let it go.
Appreciate
You
you.
know what I mean? But we out there, all the boys, you know, the Dinwitties of the world, you know, the Little Johns. We in Inglewood at one of my parks. We do hills at, you know. So yeah, Carl's gonna make me play 21. We gotta play 21, coach.
Always.
He
Always.
changed my practice program. I had to go 21. I'm like, come on, let's go 20. Hey, I got a program. Carl, come out here. Hey, I changed. I ain't about to argue with him. He gonna let me do what I want for the next hour and a half. We doing 21. Cause Carl gonna have y'all in check for the next hour and a half. He was the best assistant coach I ever had.
Oh.
So, but we at the hill. Carl been with me all day. The fellas don't know that. Carl had to be doing my workouts. So now I gave him the off. He hanging out. I got my son, they group running around the park. They doing their running, they doing their track, local stuff. So now we doing some stuff. Everybody talking trash to Carl. Like, oh man, you don't work. You don't work. You don't want to work, man. Carl, what's up, coach? Because you know they running hills. So they looking at him laying out, just chilling. They don't know he did more than that, than whatever. If I'm letting him off, it's because he already been through it. So you know what he do?
What?
He said, if I beat y'all barefoot, I get all y'all money. Listen now, it's the big man. He's barefoot. It's rocks, it's the terrain is unreal. You have to be some sort of animal to run this terrain with no socks, with an attempt to win. Like, you have to be some sort of animal, bro. You have to be, first of all, but he's so confident, I get all y'all money. He knew they had their little money. They was over there bragging. You know, man, you know how kids are.
Yeah.
They over there bragging. So, come on, man. Yeah, look at Big C. Look, John, little John out there.
You know.
The few of them, dude, they get off. He look at me. He like, they cheating. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? They off. So he look at me like, they cheat, they jump. He barefoot. He look at me like that. Dude, he took off, hauling. I never seen nothing like it in my life. I should have filmed it. I'm just not I should be more of a film guy. I never seen nobody like
the big stride
up the hill, up that grass hill.
Wow.
Sitting on the hill going up to the football fields.
Oh yeah.
That's dude. It's like a 13-second run. So they got off. He looked like they take. He beat them so bad. He beat them, but like took the air out of them. He came storming up. It was unreal.
With no shoes. With no shoes. He had his slides on. He took his socks off to run. He had his socks and slides. Took his socks off. He ran barefoot, dude. Dude, I wouldn't even walk that thing barefoot. Like, he took off and ran as a competitor. When you got a guy like this on your team, it's hard to lose. It's hard to lose because of the fact that he's showing you what he's going to do for you when it's time to compete. Yeah.
He's not going to tip. He's not going to take nothing for chance. He's going to play relentless. And that was the culture that he helped breed for the true program. He helped breed that culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people don't know that about him. They don't know that he pushed Jaime and Shaq to be. They don't know that people like Kirk and these guys like room with him, and he kept money they win, kept him protected. They don't know about Malik Muhammad. You see him on Last Chance U, having to deal with Crowe and raising his game up every day, and the way he would look out. Can't nobody talk about Malik but me. I can clown him. Yeah, he was. Come on, man. Like, people don't know that. They want to talk about all the other stuff, but no, he raised the level of competitiveness in your gym.
And I'll tell you what about, people wanting to talk about the other stuff, okay? I got a problem with people talking anything about him that's not positive, because he's like any young man out there that made some mistakes. He wanted to get his life together. There's no question about it. But obviously you make mistakes. Just the way that people write him off and, especially when he passed, man. I was looking at some of the stuff on Twitter and stuff, and I'm not going to forget it. I'm not going to harp on it, but I'm not going to forget what was said. I'm going to say it here on KJ Live. Carl Lewis had one of the most beautiful souls of anybody that I've ever been around in my entire life. Okay, that guy made me smile. Like, I used to get butterflies knowing I was going to work out with Carl J. You let me work him out. You let me kind of become sort of a quasi-mentor in his life. And so I had a relationship with Carl.
For real.
And to deal with Carl, man, and just kind of have this idea of who he was. And then when you're dealing with him and you're talking to him every day and just understand what it was about for him, man. Bruh. But
that's what we get, Chris. For whatever, and you notice, like, when you were working with him, you didn't see me over there, Hollywood. I am out of the way. He's with go over there. Like, I wasn't over there, like, in the workout, don't do this or saying anything. No, this is what it is. And then what was the results of that? He came out of there with those workouts. He shot a high clip from 3. His percentages was unreal because you had him working on his footwork and playing that game, because what he was going to be in the league was going to be unique. Because what he was going to do was be able to hit that trail 3.
Woo!
He was going to be able to run your dribble handoff game that they run in the league today, because that's the way I played him out of all the time. So he was going to be he was getting better with that footwork.
Absolutely.
That you was working with him on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Moose Bailey in the building.
Moose.
Yes, sir.
Moose.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the best coach in CIF.
But Jay, we'll cap it on Carl as saying just rest in peace, man. I love that kid, and truly it was a great, it was a really great example. But you just mentioned actually what I wanted to end it on. Okay, you just mentioned your son, Jason Crowe Jr. Okay, you mentioned your son, Jason Crowe Jr. Let me see what's up to Jay. Hey, what's up, boy? What's up, man? How you doing? All right, good seeing you. Dang, he's got the bass in his voice now, Jay Crowe. What's going on, man?
Yeah, he's trying to grow up. Like, he just got out of school.
Hey, talk about Jason Crowe Jr. And the jump he's made is now he's one of the top prospects on the West Coast.
Matthew said, "What up, Jay?" Too. Well, we just here at work. For me personally, it's been a joy, man. Cause like I said, people now they think I did this program for my son. No. I didn't know what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? I was doing this for Mike
Price. Okay.
Yeah, he's a legend. Mike Price, you're the best guard when they open the thing back up. It's going to be your time. It's going to be yours. Okay. Yeah, he's going to be the best one.
All right.
But no, I didn't do that. But I think the program, it helped him because he had an environment of learning and growing that didn't have to insist on me leading him. He was led by the others. He comes to the gym, and he can work on his game by himself, be stuck in the gym, and then get some shots in with Shaq. Let him shoot with him. You know what I'm saying? He had an opportunity to do all that, and I think for me, I just love the way that he approaches the competitions. I love the way the youth basketball is going. It's very competitive. And about to make hoops, it's J.R. Ryder coaching, it's Matt Barnes coaching, it's it's even a coach like Ron Johnson.
Oh yeah.
There's other coaches like my man Alex. It's guys that's doing their coaching thing in there. So it ain't no more that roll the ball out, let the best kid go. No. you have got to make some adjustments. You have got to have game.
A scheme. A scheme.
Yeah. And then, you know, like, even coaching him is like, sometimes I be coaching him, I be looking like, hey, man, get a bucket, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need one. No, but it's been a good journey, man. Just really being there. You know, I know you was there with your son. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been good. And I'm just trying to learn what I need to do, actually. I just want to be the best I can be since I have the opportunity to coach him.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, for real, I want to do the best I can do and not mess it up for him.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time today. I hate that I have to cut it short. I have a March Madness
No,
show.
man, that's good. It's his workout time.
Yeah.
It's what he's ready for anyway, you know what I mean? Like, he locking in, dog. It's time to work.
Hey, it's time to get it in.
You ain't going to see our work on the internet. I'll tell you that.
It's going down, though. But it's going down.
You will see it on the internet. But you won't see it on the internet. But you will see it on the internet.
Hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
much love, man. Much love.
Much love,
to
bro.
my beautiful wife, Irene. I love you. All my family, my daughter, Malia, my father, everybody out there. Big DA, where you at, dog? I didn't see DA. But everybody out there, keep supporting KJ Live, man. It's going to be the best platform to get your real insight to a lot of things that's going on, man. For real, because like I said, he probably going to talk about it later, but he gives you all LA from top to bottom. He know everybody, connected in all circles. So, you know, just listen closely, for sure.
Appreciate you, J. Crowe. Ladies and gentlemen,
Much love.
Jason Crowe. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you only see it game. That's all you're going to see. You better get your scalp. You're not going to see what we're working on.